So as we return to our mat, hopefully this little magic carpet, right? there's always some beauty in just coming to the mat and just laying down. And I think it's because our body remembers our yoga practice. And even if we don't practice, even if we just come to the mat and we just breathe and lift the heart space and center, again, a beautiful yoga practice. But today's Wednesday and it's core day. So draw yourself down. Take a little bend into the knees as you plant the feet. Notice the adjustment of whatever you're using underneath the shoulder blades, that thoracic spine. Maybe take a little bit of a test here by just extending the arms out to a T. Relaxing the head on some support so your chin, your neck isn't jutting out. Maybe the knees dropping together just to support that low spine. Closing down the eyes and taking these opening minutes here to arrive. To make any adjustments that you need to adjust. To notice that if the breath is kind of catching, you might be up too high. And as we move through our core, remember this is the one practice that is routine. And the reason it is routine is really for the protection of our neck. So again, we don't want to be doing this sequence with our head looking over at our device. So if you can, the device is there, but keep your gaze, keep your focus so that the neck is centered. And then wherever you land here this morning, just take in 3 nice full deep breaths. And notice how you arrive. Notice what you're bringing to the mat. And notice what your mat might be bringing to you. If you're using a block under the head, maybe you lower it down just one more level. Notice how that feels. Big breath in and a deep breath out. And make it any adjustments that you need. One more deep breath. And on the exhale, if you're using the block underneath the head, just set it off. Again, try to tuck that chin in more towards the throat. A little bit of length through the back of the neck. Heel toe your feet, hip distance apart. Thighs parallel, the feet are parallel. Bring the hands just to the hip crease so that the palms are resting on the thighs, the fingertips are pointing upwards. Again, see if you can re-soften through those shoulders, kind of like squeezing those shoulder blades under is a good cue to kind of help you do that. And then we're just going to take a couple body sweeps just to see where we are this morning, front and back body. So inhale, scoop the belly in. On the exhale, slide the hands up towards those knees, lifting the shoulders and the head off the mat. And then slowly glide them back down. Notice your breath. Nice and easy, slide the hands back up towards the knees. And gently lower down. Take 3 more on your own, each movement of breath. And if you'll notice, I don't want you to notice because I don't want you to look. I'm going to lower my towel because I can feel that catch. And we want the breath, particularly in a core practice, to flow nice and easy. So again, shoulders lift, head lifts, fingertips head towards the knees, that belly scoops in, and then we return down. Last one. And as you return down onto your mat, lower those shoulders and the head. Interlace the hands right behind the head, not the neck, that curvature in the skull. Open up the elbows wide. Take a moment to notice again the breath. So take a deep breath in. And if it's nice and fluid and full, release it. Otherwise, make the adjustment. Next inhale, elbows come towards the ceiling, gaze to the ceiling, and we'll start that 4-part count. So draw the belly in, a slight tuck maybe of the pelvis so the spine is nice and supported. Inhaling, we come up halfway. And exhaling without pulling on the head, elbows towards the knees. Inhale, come back halfway. And exhale, lower. So take about 4 of these. As you inhale, you come up halfway. As you exhale, shorten that distance right there between the hips and the lower ribs. Big breath halfway, and then release everything down. If you feel like you're pulling on your head as you do this movement, as our Montana Sandy said, grab a hand towel, a dish towel, and use it for a hammock for the head. There should be no pressure in the head or the neck. Again, we breathe in half, we curl in, let the breath go, come back down halfway and lower. Let's all take one more. Up and curl and back and down. Open up the elbows. Take that expanse, elbow to elbow, deep breath in and out. And depending on how you feel today, maybe you just continue that sequence of up and curl and up and down. I'm going to lead the crossover, elbow to the opposite knee. Try it. If this doesn't feel good, just come back to the same 4-count movement. Taking the breath in, scooping the belly in, elbows to the ceiling. On the inhale, come up halfway. On the exhale, take an elbow towards the knee. Don't bring the knee towards the head. Keep the knee over the hip point. Reach forward. Inhale back halfway, and we'll lower everything down. Elbows stay up. Inhale up. Cross over on the exhale. Come back to your halfway point and lower down. Big breath, belly in, up, and cross and reach, back and lower. Again, up, we cross, we come back, and we lower. 3 more on your own. Keep hugging the belly in to support that spine. Notice the pressure of your head in your palms. Just bring your focus to what's allowing the move. As you finish the last one, release down to the mat. Open up the elbows and take a full breath. We'll roll to one side. Release whatever you're using underneath the shoulders. Just come back down onto the back body. Let the arms go above the head. Let the feet go long. Take a nice full body stretch, a wiggle through the hips, a wiggle through the shoulders, just whatever feels good. Feeling into the whole front line and the back line. And then release the hands. Rebend the knees, finding that bridge pose position. So again, feet are parallel, thighs are parallel. Whatever you use under the shoulders. And again, maybe if you use that towel, you just readjust the towel, rolling it back up or down. The towel or the bolster or block is going to go under our sacrum. So on your next inhale, press through your feet, just like that bridge. Lift the hips up. Roll the weight onto the top of the shoulders. Again, as you come into bridge, any bridge position in any class, always notice the throat and the weight in the back of the head. Everything should be resting right between those shoulder tips. I'm going to slide my towel right underneath my sacrum. Find that space that when you lower the hips back down, it's not in your low back and it's not in the flesh of your buns. There's just this nice shelf there. So your choice, you can hold on to the side of the mat. I like to bring my hands to my low body so I can feel where I'm working. But find a position for your arms. Bring the legs to table. As you bring the legs to table, pay special attention. Knees are going to stay right over the hip points. A slight tuck of the pelvis, a nice gather of the belly. As you take the deep breath in, we're just going into heel taps here. Nice and easy. Breath in. Lower one heel, slow as you can go. Yeah, notice where that is in your front body, and then lift it back up. So my fingertips are down by right between my hip bones. So I can feel as I lower the other heel down and back up, all those low pelvic muscles, abdomens, alternate back and forth, heel taps. Notice if you brought any tension into the shoulders, can you release them back? The gaze still towards the ceiling or maybe towards the knees, just so you can tuck that chin in just a bit. A couple more here. As we move slow, as we move mindfully, you'll notice everything that has to happen in our breath and our body just to make this movement. Okay, last one, finish each rotation here. And then legs back to table, and let's draw them into the chest. Now your sacrum's elevated, so as you hug in, just let the tailbone round with you. Soften the shoulders. You've got this nice curvature in the spine. A nice little release for the low back. Taking a breath. Releasing that. Back to that bridge position. We're going to pick up again. The legs this time, you can stay with the legs bent and do the heel taps. I'm going to extend my legs up towards the ceiling. They don't have to be straight. Nobody's looking at you here. Flex through the feet just to activate the whole leg chain. A tuck of the belly. Again, an alternating heel. Dropping one down as slow as you can. And then lifting it back up. Use that core to lift the weight. And then the opposite. And then alternate. So using the breath here to energize all those muscles. If you hold the breath, everything contracts. So deep breathing. Let's take two more each side. Slow with breath. You guys are great. And as you finish each side, legs extend up. Draw those knees back in. Enjoy a nice big hug. Legs go back up. Again, any version of what we've done here. This version is one leg. So feet come together, ankles, the knees, squeeze them together, flex through the feet. Take it any amount down. You've got to tuck the belly in to protect the low back. When you feel the low back, don't come down any further. So this is weight now. This is one leg that's the weight of two. Take in your breath, soften the shoulders, upper body relax. Ready? Let's go. Breathe in, belly in, exhale any amount. Lower the heels. And when you're ready, pull them slowly back up. And take 5. I may go down maybe a third. I feel it. But I don't want to feel it in my low back. And it tries to compensate for maybe some weakness in the front. So you just notice you. I have 3 more with breath, right? You can always come back to the version of one leg or just bending one heel tap. So, okay, finish strong. And knees back into the chest. Take a hug. And then return the feet to that bridge position. As you arrive there, press into the heels, lift the hips. Now, before we even take whatever we're using out from underneath us, let's find a good bridge here, right? So again, a little scoop of that pelvis, draw the hips up, roll the hips or the weight back to the shoulders. See if you can extend the knees like you could press them to the wall at the other end of the mat. Lift the hips. So you've got this nice passive back bend going on in the back. You've got all the expansion in the front. 3 full breaths. Send those knees back. This is work. Let the air go. Big inhale in, press the hips up maybe a little higher. Don't let the knees splay out. Let the breath go. And now on your next inhale, just reach underneath you. Whatever's there, set it aside. 2 schools of thought here. You can come down slowly with a flat back. You can come down slowly with a nice curled back. Do what feels good for you. Keep those knees in. Lower yourself slow. When you arrive, just release, relax the back, level out the hips. One more breath. It's Eagle Crunch Day. So walk the feet to the center of your mat. Pick up the right foot, cross the right leg over the left. If it's in your practice and you want to double bind, hook it behind the calf or the ankle, and just drop the foot back down. Extending the arms out to a T. We're going to take that left arm underneath the right. So the elbows meet at center. Take your eagle arms. So bind, hold the shoulders, press through the forearms or bind through the hands and release the fingertips over the head. Again, important for your back. Draw in your belly, tuck in your pelvis. So from here, your tailbone through the whole shoulder blades, supported by your mat. Deep breath in. Exhale, reach those elbows towards your knees at center. Inhale. Drop it back down. So again, goal is elbows to the knees at center. Exhale all the air out. Take the big breath in and lower down. 3 more. Up we go. And inhale to come down. Use your breath here. As you're ready for this last one, bring it all up. Hold at the center. When you arrive at center, tuck that belly in. Take a nice full deep breath, big breath in. And exhale, everything lowers. Unravel. Arms go out to a T. Release the cross of the legs. Bring the feet wide on your mat. Just take a little windshield. Right and left with the knees. Heel toe the feet. Back to center. Take a moment here. Scoop the belly in. A little tilt in that pelvis. Feel the spine. Left leg crosses over the right. Bind if you want to bind. Right arm underneath the left. So those elbows come up, they cross across your chest, and then you find your eagle here. So again, use the shoulders if you need to this morning if you're tight. Good. Eagle arms, rest over the head. Recheck your spine now. Draw the belly in. We're going for 5, nice and slow. So big breath. Exhale, elbows finding knees or look for them. And then inhale, lower. Big breath in. And as you come up, exhale it all out. Elbows reach towards those knees. And then release. Work it slow. 3 more. Last one. When you're there, hold it up. Tuck the belly in, reach the elbows, take a full deep breath in, and a slow breath out. And then inhale, lower everything to the mat, unravel, arms out to a T, uncross the legs. Again, feet wide, find that windshield. And as you're windshielding here, the next time the knees are over to the right, just let them hang there. And as the weight of those knees kind of come down towards the mat, take that left arm overhead and just back of the hands, reach those fingers as far as you can. Just open up the intercostal ribs, the muscles, the obliques. That big stretch, reach as far as you can, but keep pressing the knees down. Return the arms to a T. Knees come up. Find that center with your hips first, and then just take the windshield right and left. And then we'll drop the knees to the left and we'll hold there. Taking in a breath, maybe that right arm reaches over our head, resting on the back of the hand. At the same time, you reach through those fingers, see if you can, not force, but see if you can just press those knees closer to the mat. Breathe into this rib cage. Those muscles between the ribs, the muscles surrounding the ribs. Take a big stretch, big inhale. And on the exhale, release the arms, knees back up to center, level out first, and then just take a little bit of a sweep side to side. And then we'll move ourselves into all fours. So taking your time any way you want to do it. If you want to rock front to back along the spine, hugging the knees in, just depends on how your spine is this morning. It's a beautiful back body opening. Otherwise, we'll drop the knees to one side. Bring yourself around. I say this all the time. We do cat-cows in every class, but every day is different. Every day our body is different. So as you spread the fingers and as you press into the palms and as you gather the belly and straighten the spine, take a couple cat-cows, nice and slow, maybe even curling in the toes to get that stretch all the way through the toe joint. As you inhale, what do you feel? You lift the hips, you lift the heart. And as you exhale, you bring it all in and you round. And you do each of those with a full breath. And here, we always talk about the energy centers that reside along the spine. And today, the Manipura chakra, which is our center chakra, right at our core, our place of self-confidence and willpower and assertiveness. So even if you don't know what a chakra is, it doesn't matter because you're opening the front and the back of the body. As you go deeper into the subtle body, you're activating that energy center. Take one more. And the thing about our core practice is, it's only 20 minutes. It's not impressive, but it activates a part of ourselves that is inward, right? We're not in a group flow. It's a pretty inward experience. And that's a really great time to notice your core values, right? All right, last one. All right, coming back, neutral table. Hug in the belly and drop the right forearm down and the left forearm down. Extend the right leg behind you to rest on the ball of the foot. Same with the left. Level out the hips. Pull in the belly. As you press into the palms, let that bring your heart forward, your gaze between your hands. Send the heels back. So important, the breath here. So set your pose. Know you can always drop the knees. No sag in the spine here. Hips are the same level as the shoulders as you press into the forearms. If it helps you to take a grip into the hands. But let's breathe here. So when you're ready and the heels are back and you lift the chest, take in a full deep breath. And then release it slowly. Continue to send the heels back. Continue to pull the core in. Deep breath in. Release slow. 3 more. Deep breath in. Press into those forearms. And out. Maybe 2. Last one. Full deep breath in. And exhale slow. Drop the knees. And drop the hips. Untuck the toes. Find your Sphinx pose. So again, forearms form the number 11. Press into those palms. Energetically drag them to you and let that shift the whole front body forward. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Keep the gaze down, neck in line. Couple breaths. For an opening, and we'll take this as much or as little as you need. For the front body, you can separate the legs, whatever's comfortable there, into your hips, to your knees. Take the hands out, maybe to the corners of your mat on a diagonal. And as you press into the palms, and as you straighten through the elbows, again, it's a shift forward, not so much up. We don't want to feel this pinching into the back. We just want to feel a nice stretch through the front body. If you're comfortable here, Maybe the gaze goes a little further towards the top of your mat. Taking a breath. Notice where you're feeling this and don't overdo it. One more inhale. On the exhale, slowly, belly, ribs, chest, come down. Stack one hand on top of the other. Let the forehead rest on the top of the hands, elbows wide. Shimmy through the hips, just releasing the low back. Bend into the knees. Soles of the feet up towards the ceiling. Maybe you windshield wiper here. Maybe it feels good just to circle through the ankles. Feel into the lower part of the body this morning. And then releasing those legs back down to the floor. Maybe one more shimmy. Moving yourself now into a point of stillness. And for me, if your hands are comfortable stacked with your head resting, please continue to do that. I'm going to extend my arms forward, just taking a full body stretch on my belly, softening my shoulders, planting my elbows, bringing my hands to prayer, bringing the prayer up to my back body. Use the breath to let the body soften wherever you are, whatever feels good, even sinking back into a child's pose. 4 breaths. And this is where we'll close today's practice. 4 values. If you have the luxury of time, turn off your device. Allow yourself to rest in that thought. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow. Hips and hammies in our jammies. Cleaning out that human junk drawer. Have a beautiful day, you guys. Namaste.